Your Dachshund just followed you into the bathroom again, didn't they? They sat outside the shower, stared at the door like you might disappear forever, and then greeted you like a returning war hero the moment you stepped out. You probably laughed it off, you probably called them dramatic, but what if I told you that little sausage-shaped shadow isn't just being clingy? They actually think you're their mother. Yes, their actual mother, the one who fed them, cleaned them, and kept them alive as a puppy. And Dachshunds, more than almost any other breed, form this exact bond with one specific human. It's burned into their DNA from centuries of being bred as tight-knit hunting partners who had to trust one person with their life underground. So today, I'm going to walk you through 14 very specific, very Dachshund signs that prove you're not just their owner, you're their mom. Stick around until the end because sign number 11 is one almost every Doxie owner has experienced, but never realized was actually a maternal bond signal. Let's get into it. Number 1, the whale eye when you leave the room. Watch your Dachshund the next time you stand up. Their head won't move, but their eyes will roll until you can see the whites at the corners. That classic side-eye Doxie owners know so well. In other breeds, whale eye can mean anxiety or warning. In Dachshunds, when it's aimed at you specifically as you walk away, it's something different. It's a puppy watching their mother leave the nest. They're tracking you with their eyes because their stubby legs can't always keep up, and losing visual contact with you triggers the same primal alarm a 6-week-old puppy feels when mom walks out of sight. If you've seen that look, you've seen maternal imprinting in real time. Number 2. The specific Dachshund scream when you come home. Every Dachshund owner knows the sound. It's not a bark, it's not a whine, it's that drawn-out, almost human operatic yodel howl shriek that erupts the moment you walk through the door, even if you stepped out to check the mail. Dachshunds have a unique vocalization range because they were bred to give voice while tracking underground, telling the hunter where they were. That same voice gets repurposed for you. The intensity of a Dachshund's homecoming greeting is directly tied to how strongly they've bonded to you as their primary caregiver. Puppies cry like this when separated from their mother and reunited. If your Doxie sounds like they're being reunited with a long-lost parent every single evening, it's because in their mind they are. Number 3, they bring you their prey. Your Dachshund drops a slobbery toy at your feet, maybe a chewed-up sock. Maybe, if you're unlucky, something they found in the yard that you'd rather not identify. You might think they're asking you to play. They're not. Dachshunds are scent hounds with a hunting drive that doesn't switch off, and in the wild, young hunters bring their kills back to the den to share with mom. When your Doxie presents you with their treasures, especially with that proud little prance and the head held high, they're performing an ancient ritual. They're provisioning the mother. Accept the gift. Prize them. You're being honored in the oldest way a Dachshund knows. Number 4, they get jealous of your phone. This sounds funny, but Dachshund owners know exactly what I'm talking about. You sit down to scroll, and within 30 seconds, a long, low body is wedging itself between your hands and the screen. They'll paw the phone, they'll huff. Some Doxies will even nip the case. Here's why it's a maternal sign and not just attention-seeking. Dachshund puppies compete fiercely with litter mates for their mother's focus, because in a litter of 6 or 7, the one who doesn't push gets less milk. That competitive instinct never fully fades in this breed. When your Doxie treats your phone like a rival sibling stealing mom's attention, they're regressing to puppyhood, and they've cast you in the starring role. Number 5, they sleep pressed against your heartbeat. Notice where your Dachshund sleeps, not just near you, on you. And specifically, if you pay attention, on your chest, your stomach, or curled into the crook of your arm where they can feel your pulse. Dachshunds have an unusually strong preference for chest sleeping compared to other small breeds. Puppies are born deaf and blind, and for the first 2 weeks of life, the only thing they know about the world is the rhythm of their mother's heartbeat against their tiny body. When your adult Dachshund chooses your chest over a memory foam dog bed that cost you $100, they're returning to the very first sound they ever loved. You are that sound now. Number 6, they burrow into you like you're a den. This one is pure Dachshund. Other breeds cuddle. Dachshunds burrow. If your Doxie shoves their nose under your thigh, tunnels beneath your blanket, or wedges itself between your back and the couch cushion until only a tail is visible, that's not right. Dachshunds were bred to hunt badgers in tight underground tunnels, and the safest place a Dachshund puppy ever knew was pressed against their mother's belly, surrounded on all sides. When they recreate that exact pressure against your body, they're telling you something profound. You are the den, you are warmth, safety, and the original heartbeat they fell asleep to. No other breed does this with the same intensity, and no other breed does it for the same reason. Number 7, they steal things that smell like you. Check under your bed, check their crate, check that one corner of the couch they've claimed as their own. I'd bet money you'll find a sock, a slipper, a balled-up t-shirt, maybe a hair tie. Dachshunds are notorious sock thieves, and dog trainers will tell you it's because of their hunting drive. That's half true. The other half is scent bonding. Puppies identify their mother almost entirely by smell in the first weeks of life, and that scent map gets imprinted for life. When your Doxie hoards your worn clothing, they're building a little scent nest of mom. They're not stealing, they're collecting comfort. Number 8, they check on you when you're sick or crying. This one will hit hard if you've experienced it. The moment you cough too hard, cry, or even just lie down feeling off, your Dachshund is there, not just nearby, but right on top of you, licking your face, your hands, your tears. Dachshunds, despite their reputation for stubbornness, are extraordinarily emotionally attuned to their primary person. In a wild canine den, a mother dog licks her puppies to soothe them, stimulate them, and check for injury. When your Doxie does this to you, the roles have flipped, but the behavior is identical. They've learned the maternal grooming behavior and turned it back on the human they love most. They're mothering you back.
Number 9, the paw on your hand or face. Watch what happens when you stop petting your Dachshund mid-scratch. That little paw comes up and lands directly on your hand, sometimes on your face, sometimes hooked around your wrist. This isn't a trick they learned. This is paw targeting, and in Dachshund puppies, it's used to knead and stimulate their mother during nursing. The motion you're getting is the exact same motion that once pressed against their mother's belly to encourage milk flow. When an adult Doxie does this to you, they're not asking for food. They're asking for connection in the most primal way they know how. It's the equivalent of a baby reaching for their mother's face. Number 10, they position themselves between you and strangers. Dachshunds were bred to be brave far beyond their size. They had to be, to face a badger underground. That courage gets transferred entirely to protecting their person. Notice the next time a stranger approaches you on a walk or a new guest comes into your home. Your Dachshund will not stand behind you. They will plant themselves directly between you and the perceived threat, even if that threat is your 6'4" brother-in-law. In canine social structure, the protector role belongs to the bonded pair. Your Doxie sees themselves as your equal partner in keeping you safe, but emotionally, they're operating from the position of a puppy defending their mother's den. It's loyalty, but it's also imprinting, and in Dachshunds, the two are inseparable. Number 11. They mirror your sleep schedule exactly. Here's the one I promised you earlier. Pay attention to your Dachshund's sleep patterns for a week. Most dogs sleep when they're tired. Dachshunds, especially deeply bonded ones, sleep when you sleep, wake when you wake, and nap when you sit down to relax. If you sleep in on Saturday, they sleep in too. If you have a restless night, they're restless too. This is called circadian synchronization, and it's been documented most strongly in breeds with intense single-person bonding tendencies, which Dachshunds top the list for. Puppies sync their sleep to their mother's body rhythms in the nest, and that synchronization can persist for life when the bond is strong enough. Your Doxie isn't just living with you, they're living on your clock, the way a nursing puppy lives on their mother's. Most owners never notice this until they specifically look for it, and then it becomes impossible to unsee.
Number 12. They get visibly anxious when you wear a coat or pick up keys. You've seen it. The ears drop, the body lowers. Sometimes a soft whine starts before you've even reached the door. Dachshunds are pattern recognition geniuses, and they pick up on departure cues earlier than almost any other breed. But here's the maternal piece. The distress level of a Doxie watching their person prepare to leave is on par with the distress level of a puppy being separated from its mother for the first time. Studies on canine attachment have shown that breeds with strong primary caregiver bonding, Dachshunds included, can display what's clinically called secure base behavior, where the human functions as the emotional anchor a mother typically provides. When your Doxie panics at the sight of your coat, it's not bad training. It's a bonded puppy watching mom walk toward the door. Number 13. They groom you. This goes beyond casual licking. I'm talking about the deliberate, focused, almost obsessive grooming sessions where your Dachshund will lick your hand, your arm, your hair for minutes at a time with a specific rhythm and a faraway look in their eyes. Mother dogs groom their puppies in long, methodical sessions to bond, clean, and calm them. When your Doxie does this to you, they've fully integrated you into their family unit, but with the roles softly reversed or shared. Some behaviorists believe this kind of extended grooming in Dachshunds is one of the clearest signs of secure, maternal-style attachment in the breed. If your Doxie has ever zoned out while licking your wrist for 10 minutes straight, congratulations, you've been fully adopted. Number 14. They cry if you hold another dog. And finally, the one that gives it all away. Try this experiment. Gently. Pick up another dog, even briefly, in front of your Dachshund. Watch what happens. The yelp, the spin, the frantic pawing at your legs, the look of pure, betrayed heartbreak in their eyes. Dachshunds are famously jealous, but this specific reaction, the one aimed at another dog being held the way you hold them, comes from a very particular place. In a litter, puppies fight for proximity to mom. The puppy who gets pushed aside cries the loudest. Your adult Dachshund, 15 pounds of muscle and stubbornness, reverts to that exact puppy in that exact moment. They're watching their mother hold another puppy, and every instinct in their tiny hunter's body is screaming that they are being replaced. They're not, but the depth of that reaction tells you everything about how deeply they've claimed you. You are their mother, full stop, and they will never share you quietly. So there it is. 14 signs, each one rooted in something specific to this breed, this history, this strange and wonderful little hound that was bred to bond hard and bond once. If your Dachshund does even half of these, you're not just their favorite person, you're the human they imprinted on the way a puppy imprints on the dog who gave them life. And honestly, there's no greater honor in the dog world than being chosen by a Dachshund. Now I'm curious, which of these 14 signs does your Doxie do? Drop the number in the comments, and if your Dachshund does something maternal that I didn't mention, tell me about it. I read every single comment, and the best ones get featured in the next video. If this video made you look at your sausage dog a little differently, do me one favor. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. Give your Doxie a belly rub from me. I'll see you in the next one.